What's up? What's up? What's up? Coach Bruce is in the studio. I don't know if I'll ever be able to say that again without thinking of my daughter making fun of me. Now my son giggles when he hears me edit my videos. Fight them. They're so they can just pierce right to the heart. You know that? Love them to death though. So today I want to ask the question: does asking for help create a responsibility? Um, I've had several people reach out to me for help. They've stated that they are struggling with their ADHD. They would like to make a change, and they reach out to me, and I'm more than willing to help. And I've offered to help these people for free. I've offered to give my time to see if there's some foothold we can find to get them started. I obviously can't give infinite time to everyone because I need to feed my family. I love them very much, and I don't want them to starve. But I'm willing to, because I believe I'm called to do this, offer at least some degree of assistance free. At least one call, sometimes up to six calls, if I feel like it is going to be useful for these people. But I've had several people like make the ask and then just not show up. Um, so I was just thinking about it. I was like, does the fact that they ask for help create a responsibility for them to show up? And the answer to me is no. They don't have to show up because you know I get frustrated that they don't show up. That I reschedule my day, try to make time for them, but I don't stay irritated about it very long because I know in the end they're only hurting themselves. They asked for help for a reason. They're in a place where they at least could briefly see how deep the hole that they were in is, and they wanted help out. And I really want to provide that for them. Like I want to be useful to people, but there's I can tell from personal experience it is not easy to ask for help when you're drowning. Just getting your head above water long enough to say help me can be really hard. But I have to set boundaries for myself and make sure that I'm not getting pulled under the underwater trying to help save other people when they're not ready to actually take the help. um, I'm sure there is somebody who could chase down every person who reaches out to them and stay on them, like, okay, make sure you show up for the call, five times before the call, and then 5 minutes before, and then at the time of the call. Like, I can't do that. I'm ADHD too. Like, let's not forget that I struggle with schedule and showing up on time for things and remembering everything that I've got going. So I can't have a bunch of irons in the fire trying to please everybody whenever nobody is helping, create something that is improving my life as well. That's all I really want out of this whole situation, is to be able to help as many people as possible, but to also have a life you know, that is sustaining my family. And that's, um, so anyways, the point of that is saying the responsibility doesn't exist, but what I think does exist is a gap that you have to fill. When you ask for help, you have to hope that somebody is willing to say yes, they will help you. And I think that you should do everything in your power to make sure that you're ready to receive that help if they say yes. And then when they say yes, if they're not asking you to pay right away, they're not, they're saying that they're going to give you something for free, you better show up, because you came to them asking for their help. You know that they've got something to offer you. Go get it. If your struggle is to schedule your time properly, like if you are in the situation I was, everything that I was doing besides going to work and getting paid was more likely a detriment to me than anything else. So I would have said, if it's not going to work, drop it and do the, like, just get that help. Somebody is offering to give you some assistance to get out of the hole. Everything else should be much less important, because you have identified the hole, which is the first step. You've identified that you're struggling and that you need help. That is the first step. If you then can identify somebody that you think is going to be able to provide you for help, or provide you help out of that situation, then you have the bandwidth to actually contact them. That's amazing. That's great. That is big steps. But the unfortunate part about that part is like once you reach out, you've created a two way communication. It's no longer about you trying to get yourself together anymore. You've become entwined with somebody else's schedule, somebody else's, work life balance. There's other people involved now. So when you make that contact, do everything you possibly can to follow through and show up for that, because saying I need help this time and then not showing up may mean that the next time they're not going to be willing to help you. I hate having my time wasted. Like it's taken me a long time to get control of my time, to actually be productive with my time. So whenever I move things around and like allow time in my schedule for somebody and they don't show up and you reach out to them and they say that they'll contact you later that day, like the one that I was expecting to meet today put me off this morning, and just so like I totally forgot, totally, so sorry. I was like, great, I still want to help you. Like I really do. Like I've got time later today. And it's like, yeah, I'll text you when I'm ready later this afternoon. Like, okay, well, that's not good enough. At this point, we had an appointment. You want to reschedule, but you're not even going to give me a time that you're going to, you know, and I told him, I was like, I'm going to need some sort of time window because I do have a life you know, that I'm living right now, and I can't just drop everything when you text me. So, and he didn't text me back, and so what I like at that point, it actually gave him a couple hours because I'm not as brash as I could be about this because I do want to offer the help. But at some point I just have to cut bait and say, okay, well, like I just messaged him some advice. I was like, here's some things that you could do that's going to help you from at least avoiding this situation again. Because I don't know you. I don't know anything about you, but I can tell you, here's what you did wrong in this situation. A couple of those things were communicate early and often. If you are struggling to meet at the time, it's much better to just talk to the person you're supposed to meet so they are aware that you are having some sort of struggle and they can adjust their schedule to maybe allow for a later meeting or whatever. And what else did I say? I don't remember. It was I gave him like 5 or 6 pieces of really good advice that I think will really, if he actually heeds them, will help him start to climb out of that hole. And part of that is just being willing to do the work. And I was like, hey, if you are willing to make a commitment to in the future buy my course or my workbook and then hit me back up and say I've done some work on it, I'm willing to invest this time in myself and do like put in the work, then I'd be willing to give you another a free session. But until that point, like the best of luck to you, I'm going to move on because I don't want to waste my time trying to work with somebody who doesn't actually want to do the work. It's not going to happen, just because you will it or you wish it so. I mean, you can will it so, but willing it so involves work. So that responsibility gap, I think, it is created whenever you enter into that social contract of asking somebody to help. But it's once again, it's a gap. It's like you don't have to do anything, but you've brought somebody else into this situation, and it needs to be filled. Like you really should feel responsible, but you don't have to. So I don't know. There's probably a word for that, but I don't know what it is. And I think moving forward, it's just really important that any ADHD people who follow me and listen to my videos realize that if you are ready to make a change in your life, for one, you should ask for help. And it doesn't need to be the most eloquent thing. It's like help. And then just show up in whatever state that you're in. That's a big thing with neurodiversity is we feel like we need to show up a certain way with we need to have certain things ready. We need to be in a certain state to show up and get the help. I think that just showing up and then letting the person give you the information that they have is the best possible thing that you can do. Because if you are trying to create some sort of like scenario to go into the situation anyways, you're already trying to create an outcome that may not exist. So like just try to show up with an open mind and just do whatever they have to offer. And yeah, you know, yeah, just take the help. But if you ask for the help, take the help. Don't ask for the help and then not take the help. That is counterproductive and a waste of time for everybody. So that's it for me today. And Yeah, if you are struggling to communicate about these types of things, then once again, check out my ADHD communication course, the 9 steps for the ADHD dad to radically improve communication. It's not just for ADHD dads, it's for anybody who has any neurodiverse issues and struggles to communicate. This will help you. Um, it helps you figure out what's important to you so you can communicate those things to other people in a way that is intentional and authoritative and starts to allow you to really show up as yourself in all spaces. And I think that is really important to being able to grow, is being able to say, this is who I am, and then this is who I want to be. And this course helps you figure out all those things, so you should check it out. And that is it for me today. Until next time, be yourself and love yourself. Bye, everybody. Once again, I lost my window.